No, I'm not
That's a short start.
no, if Pep, yes, I start any of him player. I'm going to start.
Alright, guys, welcome to TRT. Before we introduce our special guest, it was Japo's birthday on Friday, right?
Friday.
Yeah, so in TRT fashion, we got a cake, and as usual in TRT fashion, Japo is not here. But please bring the cake. We'll just
Eat the cake on his behalf.
yeah, eat on his behalf.
Lovely.
And then Hack, pray for him. Wish him all the best.
Nah, I'll get to do that.
Happy birthday. Yeah, exactly. You're guy.
I don't understand. What has that got to do with me? He's not here for this prayer, so let's eat the cake first.
Well, you'll see it on video.
Good luck
Happy
to
birthday,
him.
Japo.
Happy birthday, Japo.
Ized, go ahead.
Happy birthday, Japo. We pray God makes you of better use to yourself, your family, your friends, the country. And we pray that God rewards every step you take and every move you make. We pray for a very long life, and we pray that all the blessings that extend to you extend to your partner.
Amen. That's key.
Amen.
Happy birthday, Japo. The Raven.
Amen.
The Raven.
Japanese jams.
We can take away the cake now. All right, guys. We have a very special.
Why is this guy smiling like this?
But we do.
A very special guest, a celebrity, child star. When I watch your parents be like, you feel like Peter Bunor. Get to feel like Peter Bunor. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Peter Bunor in the building. Christ God, my man.
Yeah, man, that's me.
Maybe what you should have done, Double, is to get him to introduce himself. You know, he likes to be called
I-
what he wants to
Yeah,
be called.
yeah.
Go ahead.
I thought I was amongst friends. So my name is Peter. I'm happy to be on the TRT.
Jay.
Yeah, that's me.
Yes, boss.
I'm Peter's manager, by the way. My name is Hack. We're happy to be here today together.
You will lose at your own detriment. Collect your money and you will not see Peter. Just a word of advice.
Let him know,
Please,
please.
what's going on now? What's good? What's happening?
I mean, trying to live, survive, not get too depressed with Manchester United,
What's happening? I mean, someone I tweeted. By the way, TRT people have been, their fans have been. I feel like they've been watching every time I tweet something that is not football. I think somebody, I don't know the person's name. Let me look for the person's name. I think I replied him. So I think I tweeted because I was watching the Winter Olympics, right? So I was like, oh, Winter Olympics is so much fun. And then I think this guy is a TRT guy. He's like, Man U fans, this is what Man U fans have been saying now.
Oh my God.
And I was like, ouch. And this was just before we lost. Anyways, Peter, what's going on with your club? Because that's not my club. No, let's start. I wish Japo was here because there's a problem, but I don't know the problem.
There's a problem. And
I can't identify the problem. Jamal was saying that, like, I don't know what exactly. First of all, Maguire should get out. Maguire cannot play with us on our pitch at the stadium here. He not go find form.
No, I think so.
He cannot. Maguire cannot play with us. Like, Eze go dribble him.
yeah, I think there's just, at first, I think in the last maybe 3-4 games, we've had a finishing problem. So we create a lot of chances and a lot of opportunities to score. For some reason that I can't explain, we're not taking a lot of those chances. And what we used to see before was we'll start off slow and we pick up in the second half. Now it feels like we're seeing the reverse, where we start off at a really fast pace, the pressing is good, the chances are there. Second half, I don't know what happens. And
So yesterday somebody made a very, very interesting comment. So do you not think this is also down to the manager? Because Burnley came out from after that second half, they came out like they wanted to play, and then it seems like Sondheim said something to the players, right? And we know that management. A good part of management is motivation, right? So you see a team like Pep's team, year in, year out. There's this hunger, there's this motivation, regardless of whether you're on the bench, regardless of whether you're coming to give your minutes 100%, right? So United is United, right? They've got this wealth of players, and then you're telling me that they go into the dressing room and they come back. They come like you're supposed to, when you go into the dressing room.
What it is,
yeah,
right?
problems are supposed to be addressed, and then you're supposed to come back.
look,
Going to the dressing room is like you refueling, you taking.
I don't know what the problem is, right? Because
your
if you-
Lucozade boost or
if you were the
something.
manager and they came in from that first half, what I would have said was like, guys, we are playing very well. This is what we need to continue. keep it up.
Should you be telling them they're playing very well?
Of course,
In
you
the
have
sense
to.
that you're not finishing, though.
Positive. No, but in the first half,
No,
we
but
scored 3
it's
goals.
Burnley.
I
Wait,
didn't
chill.
see the
We
game,
scored
but it
3
seems like
goals,
they
even
played
though
well in the first
even though
half.
2 were disallowed. We scored 3 goals. We created chances. Our defense was solid. Maguire and Varane in the first half shut down Vegas, who's like what 6'7". Like everything was solid in the first half. It was a
Vegas has never played in the Premier League before.
but that was not his first game. But it was a beautiful performance in the first half. So which is why when you come in and in the first 15 minutes or 10 minutes, the team literally cracked.
So what is the problem?
That's the point I'm making.
You don't know.
But I think management,
even
like 00 said, it's kind of. I think it's the gang press in the sense that probably the players are still adjusting to it.
There's
And
definitely
they
elements
just
of
burn
that.
out.
And fatigue.
They just burn out. Exactly. They just burn out.
I don't think
because
they have the
chase,
players for
chase,
gang press.
exactly.
Yeah, I think fatigue is also
Exactly,
a thing
it's
because
fatigue. They
Rani's
just
style of
cannot
play
do
is
it.
high press, and you are constantly moving,
Yeah.
with or without the ball. You are constantly in motion to.
Just like
create
Liverpool
spaces.
and RB Leipzig. is
And
the
if you
same.
remember, when Klopp first came to Liverpool, they had a similar issue where players were either getting injured frequently or they would just burn out at a certain point in the game. I admit that it takes some getting used to, but yesterday was very annoying, and perhaps Boro was even more annoying because Boro should have scored 6
Yeah,
goals.
so I was getting to that.
You
So
know, like-
you've got this last 4-5 games. Let's even go from that Aston Villa game to now.
Yeah.
We're saying the same thing. Yeah, we play well first half, whatever, but then we're not getting a lot of goals, and then there's like one or two. So it just takes like with City, you could get a chance, but you might not finish because obviously they will mop up, right? With Man U, you just need one chance, just one lucky break.
But that's a function of our team.
So the question is, Ragnick is supposed to, like the way what's his name Conte came in, right? The first problem was to solve defense, right? In as much as they were not.
But Ranick has done that. If you look at,
but what's still
if you look at Manchester,
one goal that changes that changes you from 3 points to 1 point.
But if you look at Manchester United before and after Ranick, our defense has improved significantly.
But we're not scoring.
Right now, we started off scoring.
Like Wesley said yesterday, created how many chances?
Yeah, look. So again, for me, it tells me that directionally, certain things are happening right now. There's still a problem in the interaction between. So if you remember, Ole used to play 2 deep-sitting midfielders, right? Because again, there was some Fred and McTominay, because the defense you're not very. And Ranick actually did that for a while, but yesterday Fred was not available. And so he had to play one McTominay. A large part of that goal, I think a couple of transitions before that goal, was McTominay and Maguire getting, I don't know what happened between them there, that created that space that we all know Maguire doesn't have the pace to catch up. And so a goal was considered. Against Boro, it was something similar. McTominay and Dalot, paths crossed or something happened along there, and then we considered a goal as well. We will always give away at least a chance on 2. Right? My bigger problem is the fact that we are not finishing the chances we're creating. Because there's no way you play a football game. You even against City, you will have 1 or 2 chances. For us, the odds are you will likely score that one and maybe defend.
Okay, so in terms of finishing, right? So I was saying, right? One of the major problems with United at this point in time is they're not playing, when it comes to the attack, they're not playing like a team, they're playing individual football. Like everybody wants to cut in and score, nobody wants to cross the ball for the other person to tap in and blah, blah, blah. Like, and then I've seen people saying that the reason why this started happening, because even before Greenwood was removed from the team, he was doing that. He was doing very well last season, assisting, and then this season, all of a sudden, he's being selfish. Rashford is selfish. Everybody's being selfish, right? Yeah. I've seen some people say it's because Ronaldo is like that. Do you think this has anything to do with Ronaldo?
No.
Since he's come to the team, because prior to when he came to the team, there was cohesion. There was teams wanted to lay for the other person to score and and then all of a sudden, it seems like everybody's playing for themselves.
I think our
in
attack.
addition to Douglas' question, I'll just say, while answering, just kindly explain to us what you feel in regard to Ronaldo being a blessing or a curse.
Can I hear?
In regards to Ronaldo being a blessing or a curse
blessing or
to
a
Man
curse, I think that's a
United's
tough one.
development.
I think our attack, yes, has been less fluid since we signed Ronaldo. And that's a function of the type of player he is now, not a function of his ability or anything. I think that when you play, if you remember when we played Martial, Rashford and Greenwood, there was a lot of mobility and interchange there. Now, what Ronaldo does now in his current game is he drops deep and more often than not pulls 2 defenders with him, which creates space for runners. right? And so you expect that your fullbacks are tearing down and your other guys are tucking in so that they can get cutbacks. The problem is those cutbacks, not the problem, or one of the problems I think is those cutbacks are not coming. Think about it. You can almost typecast how City score or how Liverpool score. It's the cutbacks constantly because even Arsenal because if you have someone who can drag two defenders or a defender out of position, he creates spaces and then the crosses can come in. But they are not coming, which is a function, which is something that's kind of weird to me.
Yeah, so because I'm trying to really understand what the problem is. Where
again,
everybody's been like literally, like we were saying before with shooting. If you want to mark Rashford right now, you don't even need to go and wait for him. You just come back.
He's gonna come back. It's like cut back.
So there's no point you going to follow him to the byline. Just wait for him. He will come back and meet you. Like, so why are we having wingers that are not ready to put ball in the box for the other guys?
Only person that played with some dynamism was Sancho.
Yeah,
and that's because he was supremely unpredictable. You didn't know what he was.
I think I saw some stats where
Peter did not say whether it's a blessing or a curse.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Ronaldo.
He doesn't know that he's next to.
To be honest, that's hard. Look, I don't know how to evaluate that. First, I'm a huge Ronaldo fan. Let's put that out there, right? Like, so I don't know how to evaluate thinking about Ronaldo as a blessing or a curse. If you look at it from the point of he was signed as a striker and all of that. He's the highest goal scorer this season. Sorry?
No, I said like if you look at it from that angle.
From that point of view, right? I also don't think that I can blame him for the team's performance, right? I see a lot of people do it. I just can't fathom that you are a Marcus Rashford or a Mason Greenwood and your head just gets completely lost because Ronaldo is in the team. Right, we see Edison Cavani. Right, Cavani plays his ball. He didn't have a great game yesterday, but
he played his game.
Like, he played his game. So I don't get what is happening.
So to the people saying he's a problem, right? I think that's very false because at the time of Totti, right? Yeah, when Totti was still playing, you couldn't have, in as much as he was slow, right? You couldn't say he was the problem in the team because all he would do is. Because he is 30, right? He will take players, and then the other guys were scoring so well. But then, even as much as he was getting the tap-ins and then the nods and co, right? He's supposed to be an addition. That's almost like saying Zlatan was the kids are supposed to develop, but the guys because if we were scoring these goals, if we were being a team, if we were being a team. And not being individual players, nobody will be saying Ronaldo is the problem. But all of a sudden, I feel like everybody's looking for who to play. Because prior to, in fact, we wouldn't have needed to have gotten Ronaldo in the first place if these guys were doing so well.
Yeah.
But I think you would have gotten.
No. I'm saying no. The reason why Ronaldo is in anybody's team, Ronaldo is a plus.
Yeah.
You can't. There's no way you say. There's no version where you say Ronaldo is a minus because he's not a defender. All he does, and then at the moment, compared to the rest of the guys, if maybe the rest of the guys had maybe 10 goals and Ronaldo had 2 goals and he was missing chances, then it's different. Yeah. But right now he doesn't. He has more goals than them.
I also want to say, I think with Ronaldo. Yesterday, for instance, I do not see how it was Ronaldo's fault because for the larger part of the time, the game, they played without Ronaldo. Yeah. And then, they were not still passing to each other. The only person, like you said, that was passing throughout the game was still Sancho. Like, he was the one passing, and him and Fernandes, trying to get people to play. So, the main issue I see here is if you are not going to pass to him, so then score. Like, do you get? If you are not going to pass to him, score. Yeah. So, the reason you think is a problem for you is because when you don't pass to him, you are not going to score. Like, do you get? Because
he puts himself in a position.
If you are taking your chances, then nobody's going to, like, if they were scoring, nobody's going to say, why didn't you pass to Ronaldo? Yeah, exactly. But you are not passing to him and you are not scoring. When he's not playing, you will still not score. When he's playing, you will still not score. When he's not playing, you will not pass. Yeah. When he's playing, you will not pass.
And then this also brings me
maybe in training to say you will not score.
Maybe this now brings me to my question, right? So, Ragnick, we know all this. Yeah, and then players are not being team players in the game. But then there's a player, in as much as his contract would be up, that's always about the team, right? She's Lingard. Why is he not being played? So, like, I have no reason. I know I tuned into the game at about 88 minutes or so. Yeah. I saw Lingard. So did he start? He came in at 88 minutes. And then Rashford was messing up all game. My point is, why not bench Rashford? Has
And
not
that's the
been
thing.
good.
To even add to what you said earlier about cutbacks, that's Lingard. Like
Exactly.
those.
You get, like, so I'm saying, as the coach,
third
like,
man
I know that
runs
this
is
guy.
the person that will
Look
make
at
those
what
runs.
he did at West Ham. They scored a lot of goals because he puts himself in those. Like, he's a team player. He works hard. So right now you're looking for, like, if Lingard, there's a goal when Lingard the last time Lingard played.
Yeah, the one with Ronaldo.
Ronaldo. He literally, like, if Lingard was playing and then he's very comfortable on the right. If Lingard was playing, Ronaldo would get a lot of, like, guys on the other side would get a lot of.
The other thing, the thing
So
I
my
also
point
see
is, why not
again
play him?
sometimes with this thing is like when I don't know what the coaches see in training and what they are trying to achieve. Because sometimes it's easy for us to sit back and see a bunch of these things. I can't tell. The coaches have to make their decisions based off of what they see in training. It's very important. And there's some footballers are notorious to be lazy trainers.
Like Payet, Dimitri
Yo,
Payet was
Payet,
lazy, but
Dele
he
Alli,
was come and score.
Payet, Dele Alli,
Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Lima.
Delima.
No, but my
Hazard.
point with Lingard is he wasn't playing at one point. Then you loaned him out. Then he went to
Obama,
West
yeah.
Ham, right?
Sorry.
He went to
Jokes,
West Ham,
jokes.
right? And he did so well. He was going to sign with West Ham. You guys said, okay, no,
but it's a
come
football-
on.
it's a
Fight.
football
No, my
club.
point is, I'm saying, why not play him at a time where you're not
where he
getting
has
goals?
peaked.
So that's my point. My
You're not
point.
getting
My
goals.
point is, and see, look, it is not just a Ranić thing, right? There's been at least 2 managers who were not playing him consistently. There has to be something going on.
Hey, Jose was
See.
playing him and he was doing so well.
But
though.
that was like how many managers?
Jose
ago?
was just prior
Like,
to
something had to have happened.
Yeah, they said
for
he
2
was-
managers to come in, and consistently we are seeing the same thing. Like,
not
so this takes me to the point where I feel like
Manager.
not just the manager.
We don't have the personnel for that.
right. So the personnel do not exist, and it's the fault of the club in how we are set up.
Yeah, man.
The club has not done its business right. Look,
Yeah.
before Fernandinho
Which is
left,
why I said to Japo earlier
Before
this season.
Fernandinho left, City had Fernando, and then they signed Rodri. Like, guys are planning for
Ahead
what's
of time,
going.
I'm
What's
telling
going.
you, fam.
Right now, we've had a right winger, a defensive midfielder problem for years.
A centre back problem.
We've had a centre back problem since
You tried to address it with
since
Maguire.
Vida and Ferdinand retired. We've constantly had central back issues. So it's like these are like at least 4 positions. These are at least 4 positions where we've had issues for years. Right back until we signed Spider-Man, who hasn't been the greatest. We had a right back issue. Our club is set up to make profit, right? And as long as we make profit, my guy, I don't expect too much footballing wise. We just signed a 20
You are
million.
sounding like an Aslav.
We just signed a 20 million pound deal for training kits. Bro, training kits, we're getting 20 mil. Look, Manchester United is a money-making machine.
Now those guys are very annoying because obviously, so my point is, Man City is making money, right?
But that's the thing, it's for
they
how
are
long
winning.
other
They're
clubs
my
are
point.
getting-
That's what I'm saying. Newcastle
You
is here
just
now.
start switching
So
at-
are you
grass.
saying that would you like so Man City is the reason why Man U can get all these deals? You realize it's from a time where we used to win. The reason why Man U became the
Exactly,
biggest club
fam. And you
was
guys were
because
winning consistently.
Again, so it will get to
Liverpool
a
waited
point-
for 10,
I
30 years.
I know you will keep saying, oh, we're making money, but to get to a point where these investors will shift their money to other guys
It's already
that
happening,
are doing well in the league,
Yeah.
winning trophies, and we'll go, okay, what is
So,
our return on money?
I
Because
agree.
Man U's what they call it. If you look at the graph, I'm not sure we've accrued more fans. If anything, we probably have lost.
I
some fans.
agree with you to
But
an
the
extent,
idea of
yeah.
Man U back in the day, the reason why we go to China is because every time you win, like some people, like a lot of girls, right? At the time, like for example, my sister was not a football fan until Henry, right? The only reason why my sister started watching football was because Henry was, and then because they were winning, she just okay, that's my club.
So
And
look,
then that was it.
there's
That's
ways
literally
to
happens
look
for
at it.
people
Now.
that
The way I think
you know?
about it, right, is other than just the fact that something in the way we are buying players, something in the way we are identifying the positions we need is fundamentally broken.
It's
We spend about
structural,
$1 billion. We spend the most amount of money in the top 5 clubs in Europe in the last 10 years.
I don't have nothing to show
And we
for
have
it.
nothing to show for it. So it's not a case of the owners that we don't even
Yeah,
like not
spending
providing money. Money is being provided.
No, so
we are consistently doing
I
the
feel
wrong
like you're
deals.
spending money in the
I
wrong
also
place
think
because
this
back
is
in the
Ed
day,
Woodward now.
I also think-
back in the day there was the scouting network,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
like
I
see Man City, right? Man City goes ahead, like you wouldn't even
So
hear of the
let me
player, right?
interrupt you here. Right? Peter Kenyon left Manchester United and went to Chelsea, right? The story is he went with the players that United had been scouting. So Essien, Robben, there was a long list of players that Peter Kenyon took with him when he became CEO at Chelsea. And at that time, we didn't think we had to compete with Chelsea in terms of matching pay. It was never a thing that we wanted to do at the time. So we didn't try to compete to sign a bunch of those players. There's that part. It is the same scouting network, right, that has either found players, and we have been slow in concluding deals. For the first couple of years, the Fellaini transfer purchase was dying minute because we're desperate.
And then the other one from
Maguire,
Madrid that didn't go through.
the one from Madrid that didn't go through. So it tells you that even the art of doing the business of it
No. So
had been broken for a
what
while.
I realize is United don't necessarily sign. So like prior to Cancelo, right? We heard about, if you really watch football, you would have heard about Cancelo, right? But it wasn't popular, right? You've heard about Diaz, right? But then if you really watch football, but he was not popular. United only tend to go
Fernandes
for
is Man U's
exactly.
purchase that made him popular.
So United didn't necessarily go for
players that I can buy from my house.
do you get, like, they literally will go for popular players. Sancho, very obvious. Like they don't go and look for someone and watch him and scout like the way Wenger would do. Find Kolo Touré from somewhere. Find
the strikers
Eboué,
just signed.
See the
winger
point.
from
That's
Porto,
it. Like you would not see
Diaz.
United wouldn't do that right now.
But in defense of that, like in the last, at
So I
least
feel
in the
like we're
last,
spending money in the wrong place. Why not invest in a
we are
really good
definitely
scouting
spending
network?
money in the wrong place.
You invest
But
in a really good
last 1
scouting
year,
network, and you could get some of these players
for cheaper.
not even spending.
So there
this
is
18
even
million.
more than- not just-
Are you saying that across Europe right now, if Pep really wanted to get a solid 4 with removing Declan Rice, are you saying that we
So
can't
what
go and get
I
a
wanted to
good
say
4?
is,
Pep
apart from spending a lot of money, there's some advancement to football that United were a bit slow on the uptake with. So, for example, using of data. Liverpool leads
Southampton.
leads the league in utilizing data, and that's because their owners came from baseball, and Major League Baseball is data driven, right? So they had identified a lot of these things, and that's how they find the players by looking at stats, and then they're able to pick up some gems before people really notice them or before they get into that breakout season where things go. We all watched Fabinho at Monaco. We thought he was decent. We didn't think he was great. We thought he was decent. We all watched Bernardo Silva at Monaco. We also thought he was decent. We didn't think he was, great, but it was decent. Right? We rated him, Sha. We've been watching Bissouma at Brighton.
And
we rate him
very highly.
We rate him go.
Nobody's back.
You get me? So it's like,
but that's what I'm saying. Those are some of obvious. So I'm saying right now, are you saying that United can go into somewhere in
and get a Declan Rice that is not Declan Rice?
Exactly.
But there's all sorts of
Portugal, someone
there's
that's
all
playing
sorts of
as
things.
good as Declan Rice.
There's all sorts of things to consider.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
So
Right now, if Pep wants to identify, if Pep has an area that he thinks, I know that the people say Pep spends money and go, but he goes in, identifies these players, right? And those players are functioning right off the bat.
But there's also be players that did not function right off the bat.
But that's so much though.
I agree with that.
All I'm saying get it right and not get it right.
All I'm saying is, things are wrong with the club. I don't think that it is spending money that is the problem. I think that the club has consistently tried to spend money. We've either been rushed or we've been pressured.
No, we spend money based off of panic buy. We don't spend money.
And that's because there's a lack of a plan. There's no footballing identity. There's no, since Fergie left, right? There's been no identity of this is how Manchester United.
Because it's been the same Glazers that was there when Fergie was there.
So but it's the same thing. It's about them thinking, let's just come and run it, right? Look, Ajax have what's his face, Van der Sar. There's Tomoli that went to Liverpool. Overmars. There's Tomoli that went to Liverpool, right? There's this other guy that came. There's Chiki.
There's Monchi.
There's Chiki.
There's
Monchi. There's Chiki in City, right? These are guys that you sit down with and say, look, what kind of
Liverpool's
football?
Guy is leaving, no?
That's Tomoli. It's not Tomoli.
No, Michael Edwards, the guy that is in charge of
Edwards and Tomoli first and Edwards. So they do like 4-5 years and like, I'm done, right? These are guys that you sit down with and you say, which is why this whole thing with Rani.
And it didn't work. No.
I know the guy you're talking about.
The one from Dortmund.
Yeah, it's a German guy. Even this whole thing with Rangnick, the reason why it's like 6 months and then you consult is because most of Rangnick's career has been spent as director of football, which means he can coach. But his best job is finding these gems and then working with a manager to say, okay, this is how we want to play football. Let me find the kind of players that can play this thing. And then
Speaking of that,
but we haven't had that in years.
Okay, so speaking of that, United have that right now, but then there's still rumors, strong rumors, right? Because I don't know who's going to take over the job, right? But then there's strong rumors.
God, please let it be ETH. I
don't want Pochettino.
No, I don't
Because he's not doing so well at PSG.
I don't want
Who would you want?
Ten Hag.
Oh yes, but I don't think so my problem with United is
Hag is going to coach.
yes. My problem with United is
We'll
right?
get linked.
Yes.
Linked.
So when there's someone that is supposed to be obvious that United is supposed to get, because at the time United could have gotten Conte and we could have done well for a period of time, right? Assuming that there is no, obviously, because I don't think United will get
Ten
Hag, because if you have to do that, you really. So I'm not sure Ajax is completely happy with United because of the treatment with Donny
but
van
all
der Beek,
the
right?
all the stories
Right?
in the last couple of weeks is like Ten Hag is leaving Ajax.
Yes, but to Real Madrid is what they were saying.
No.
Not
Well,
United.
because
his destination
Real
hasn't
Madrid.
been sorted.
It's
Fam,
Real
if Haaland
Madrid
goes
is
there, they have Alaba, they have Mbappe.
they're doing
But that's
Pogba
not Ten
Pogba is
Hag, you know.
coming.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, they are making the Galacticos, right?
Yeah.
I know they want to make a
So
Galacticos,
Ten Hag
I'm
is,
not spending money.
So my point is, United right now removing
Hag.
who else? Are they
If we
looking
remove
at?
Ten Hag,
because
we
they'll
don't
go
know-
And
eventually.
I
United
think
will
you
go
guys
for the
cannot just
obvious.
buy Ten Hag.
Yes,
I
they'll
think
go for the
you need
obvious.
to solve that director of football
Which is
thing
that was
as
the whole
well
deal.
as Ten Hag. So
that was the whole deal with Rangnick.
Yeah,
Aziz.
exactly.
So
But
Rangnick
Ajax
transitions
is not going
upwards.
to go.
Yeah. So even if it's not Ten Hag,
Ajax is not director
even if
football.
it's not Ten Hag,
They need to get a director for because at the
No,
moment,
yeah, man.
director of
Ajax
football
has
is
that.
Fletcher.
That's spending money.
Ajax have that.
No, I'm saying United, but you will remove Fletcher.
No, he becomes a consultant for specific things.
Yes, but I'm saying United still have Fletcher as the director of football.
How-
Because-
Fletcher
Fletcher
director.
Yes.
director.
Yeah, Fletcher
Yes.
was appointed director
Yes.
of football recently.
Yeah, no, like a year ago. What?
Yeah, so
Yeah, a while ago.
But it was
Really?
John.
Yes.
It was John Newton.
Fam,
Yes.
to run
again,
scouting
you
and-
guys don't have a director of football.
Exactly. My point.
Same
That's
thing's happening at
yeah.
Arsenal,
Yeah.
So if
Edu.
United was
Edu.
serious,
I know football more than
because
it.
I know that if Chelsea wanted to do this, right, or Man City, they would have gone, picked Hag and Van der Sar at the same time.
For director of football, yeah, that I feel like the position was a position for as much as in as much as you have to have footballing idea for you to be a director of football. I felt like the position was for people that that has contacts. They have contact. They are respected.
transfer,
Like
yeah.
when they walk into the room and they want to have a conversation with you, you really want to listen. If that is the case, so why are we clubs like Man U and Arsenal? Why do we have Fletcher and Edu as director of football? What do they want to do?
We're too badly run clubs. It's there.
Because there was a time Nottingham Forest, Leeds were some of the biggest clubs in
this is
England.
the
Where are
truth.
they now?
This is the
Aston
truth.
Villa.
This is the truth.
Where are they now?
I think that and maybe this might be overly optimistic. I think that Manchester United, right, the way it's set up, has realized that okay, we're sleeping and we're sleeping far, right? And I think that the last set of moves that have been made are definitely in the fact that look, we are sleeping.
Yeah.
Let us recognize it.
Arsenal too. We just need to get Edu.
Right?
out.
Let's
That's the
recognize
final.
it and fix these immediate things. So even in the last set of moves, what will confirm or destroy that assumption for me are the things we do in summer. If we do not plug that defensive midfield hole, we've had this midfield problem for at least 10 years. It makes no sense. It feels like everybody can see there's a hole here that water is entering.
Quick one, just
Yeah.
where do you see realistically United finishing?
This is
Realistically, I don't think we'll make top 4 at this rate. I don't think so.
I expect the other teams to sleep up.
Okay.
That's the thing. Tottenham is not.
I wa-
They've
that- I
got,
was
they've
going
got
to- I was going- I was
two
going to
games
come
in
to
hand
Tottenham.
or 3
Do you
off
understand?
United.
Do you understand that? I think everybody were just there, forming acting as if we don't know Tottenham are there. And they're there.
Actually,
Like,
we've forgotten about
they
Tottenham.
have
with
fixed
3
a
games
lot
in
of
hand.
things in 3 months.
Yeah.
The guy is working.
So I don't know.
Listen, Anderson was here last week, and then upper week you were saying you have the opinion that Aubameyang should go, and then and then Anderson came here last week and said the complete opposite because he didn't feel. So do you feel justified with the treatment, and then do you feel the way you guys are conducted business in the transfer window? Did you what did you rate that as?
Well, I think I've been very clear on how I feel about director of football. It's Edu. I think he's very incompetent, and I don't think. I strongly feel a lot of our transfers during the summer was. I feel Arteta just put his foot down. It's like, these are the players I want to go and try to get them for me, ultimately. And I see that the club had a plan in this transfer window to get players out, right? My issue coming to Oba is I have no problem with him getting out and how he was treated. He should go. I wouldn't change that just because of the kind of person I am. Just go. However, the way they went about getting him out of the club without replacing him just shows that there was no plan. So they intended clearly to keep him till summer and probably just bench him, which I don't agree with. I was totally in support of getting him out of the club, but have a clear plan to replace. So we're supposed to sell Eddie Nketiah to Newcastle. Mm-hmm. When we paused that transfer, I was thinking, okay, you're discussing with Barcelona, or you're going to try to move Oba out. You're talking to Newcastle with regards to Eddie leaving. At the end of the day, Oba goes, Eddie stays. Nobody comes. And we have a situation where our centre forwards are not scoring.
So my problem with that transfer was you guys chasing Vlahovic, and you knew that you were not going to get.
I said
no, I don't think. I think it's just bantered fans. They were never interested. Bro. Because you know why? From the very first moment we approached this guy, he said he doesn't want to leave Italy.
Yeah.
He said it crystal clear. I know the goal. It's not about us now. It's not about. I'm not living here.
So they go see us like
forget those guys.
He put us down for the run stuff.
Yeah.
As an individual,
Yeah.
You know when they ring for a phone.
Yeah.
Peter, as an if I call you once based on let's go out, and then we have a plan, and then I call you and you don't pick, I assume that when you see the call, you are going to call me back. So, as a club, if I call you and you don't pick, I'm moving on.
No, that's
Edu.
That's very disrespectful. That's very
No, the guy,
disrespectful.
because you know why?
Because
The
in
guy will
Madrid,
probably see Truecaller. You see Edu, you say, who is that?
That is what I'm
Pochettino
saying.
calls
What
you.
is an Edu?
If Pochettino Perez calls you,
Let me tell you.
Or Laporta.
Let me
if you're Adrian, just make sure wake up.
Let me tell you something.
You go rush.
Let me
bro.
tell you something.
Call him back.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you how you know that Edu is completely incompetent. Is he goes to Juve, and then there's a player here that they don't use at all. They don't have any use for him. Like he's just sitting down there. So and they're like, and you know he's available. You're like, at all. They couldn't help us. Give me this guy. And Juve are able to sit down with you and convince you that the player that they are not using, they can't give you on loan for 6 months. You have to sign him 18 months. Else they will leave him with they will keep him. And then
You are
he
thinking
goes,
about
and then he agrees. And then takes him back to go and meet the Oga. And like, hey, so after a long conversation, I think I got the deal. And like he's like, they don't even know football, but they are able to tell you that no, this thing that you have got to do is nonsense.
Very passionate.
But it's true though.
It's true.
Because they put
They
in
don't
front
know
of those
football.
guys and they're like,
They're like, what? This guy doesn't play.
bro, this guy that Juve traded, I keep forgetting.
Pjanic.
How
37
old?
years, Pjanic.
Exactly. For one season, that he only played in Barcelona for one season. He could only make one season. They traded him. Then you want to give us.
And
for
they
18 months.
are agreeing
Our director of
18
football
months.
adjusts his suit and it's like,
Yeah, that's a good thing.
I've killed shit.
Hey man, said USA, I'm coming.
Bro.
So my problem. So and then like last week, and I said like if you look at Arsenal, we have a lot of things to fix. It's like I think we have like 18 senior team players. So that means and Lacazette is going.
Laka is leaving?
Nketiah is going. And then
That's going to Newcastle.
free transfer. Wow. So now we're left with maybe 16 players. So that means if we're going to register 25 players, 25 senior players, we have to buy 7 players. Do you think Edu can get you 7 quality players?
Bro, the best he can do there is 1.5.
So
one, then another one that's probably good, but is not fit. Every 2 games injury. Then he wanted to bring Dembele. It's Edu that wanted to smuggle him in. That's the half player. What are we talking about? Yeah, and then
Dembele,
Dembele. They wanted
Usmani.
to just in that.
But that's a bad boy.
Bro, in that Obama deal, imagine you are carrying problem to buy problem times 2. That's attitude and then injury. Like you carry attitude, you are saying okay, attitude, guy, bro. See, you have one problem. Then you say okay, go away.
You're not
attitude.
collect two
Then you're like
problems.
okay, attitude and injury. Then we'll be happy with you. He's a mad guy.
And then
He
you know,
needs to go.
The first time I heard Edu was coming back to us, I was excited because it is very like it was going to be it's supposed to be a very good thing for you to be the first person to discover these players that we were looking for, especially in Brazil. Imagine if you are the person that that brings up the next Neymar, next Ronaldo, and there will be a lot of nests, but maybe one time it will click. Yeah. So I was like, good deal. He will just go, and he doesn't have level in Brazil.
Even in the Brazil, bro, and you know why? He hoodwinked us. He just brought us Martinelli. Bro, that's why every time any player of the month, bro. If player of the month.
Just to trial at Man U. If he had done trial at Man, that means everybody knows him. Even me, I suppose know him. Now because I know they watch Man U. And then he comes and he has not brought anybody from Brazil. He is helping us by Luis, helping us by William.
Luis and William. Bro, before we go back on him, the problem is then who hired him? Like what is the experience? Like
no. See, So what happened is when we were restructuring the club and we're taking Wenger out. I think it was even part of their plan when they were taking Wenger. You see that what the club did was attract a lot of our ex-players from the unbeaten run. And
I'm sorry. I think players should do away with clubs.
So you see Palo, exactly. So Palo,
right
Pires, Lundberg, all of them they were running things, and then Mertesacker was doing academy. So just all players. So I felt probably from training, because that's the direction he took after he stopped playing. Probably a bunch of people sent in their CVs. They're like, well, the ex-player that is somewhat qualified, let's bring him on board. Oh boy, bro.
What about Sanheli? What about the whole Sanheli?
There's a journalist.
No, Sanheli is. See, this is the problem with Sanheli.
Sanheli
there was
Sanheli.
You see, this is the deal. I feel Sanheli was kind of guys with them clunkies, or he just knows how to them, and he had a huge pedigree, right? But bro,
and also,
if this thing is 2K,
Sanheli will sell us
be like, man,
700.
You know you're going to play for Arsenal Football Club. You're going to live in London and all of that. You do stories, and you just say, just take 15 naira from 2 naira. They'll take you to 15 naira. Take the club will be like, Don Raul. We signed Nicolas Pepe for 72 million.
I think.
No, so I was
saying,
trying to say, what's his name?
Anderson.
Anderson was saying the way he was treated, and I cannot agree with him. I feel like even if in as much as you want to move a player out of the club and go, the manner in which he was treated did not. It seemed because till today we still don't know what was
exactly
done. Even if he said something, like, players have done worse. Players have and then they were eased out of the club in a respectful manner. The manner in which he was kicked off was very distasteful. Like, and I agreed with. I know that. Yeah,
I don't think so. I don't think so.
No, because
I don't think he was. Because he was not insulted. The manager did not come out.
Yeah,
and
but
say,
no, they traveled to Dubai. You didn't call him.
Yeah,
like, you didn't even know his face.
They just told him, do not, just stay away.
For the captain of the club, how about what could you have done though?
Just stay away from the team. It's very simple for me. It's just like, this is a bad attitude. This person has a very bad attitude and is the leader. And Arsenal has a very young team. We're not the Man U, Liverpool that average age is 28, 27. We're 24. We're kids. It's just kids. You have them Laka, Xhaka, Oba, and they are 32. Then you have 21, 20s, 20, 22. Bro, if the manager who has said that, okay, he has had a very good relationship, he came out to say it, that I've had a good relationship with you, but fam, it must be that this attitude has been lingering for forever. And then they've said, okay, stay away from the team. Because I feel if it was really bad, Oba's attitude is, if it really was that the club treated him so shitty, Oba's natural attitude from what we've seen from club to club, he would have come out to say, we would have heard something. But you see that even the minute Arsenal tweeted, bye, thank you, Oba, he posted the tweet immediately. and he has not said anything bad about the club.
I think my argument against that is that my argument against that is that because we all have expected, because me personally, even if Oba did not say it, I expected his brother. The minute they announced Oba, I expected his brother to jump up, and say, no, that shitty club, and they start to cast. I feel like he has called his team together and like, you know what, they expect us to do this, then let's do this. I think that's the game he is playing, and I feel like he can't play it. He can't play it for too long. He can't play it for too long. If he start to pop in Bacana, if he pops like maybe 3-4 times, I swear to God, all of them will come out and talk and say something. But I feel
he has nothing to say too, because I mean, you're still being, the media is going all crazy about how the Arsenal Football Club is treating you while that is going on, not afterwards. During the pendency of the whole world checking on your attitude, you go out in AFCON and you come back drunk with another player. You have a problem that clearly you being excommunicated from the team hasn't fixed, because weeks after, you're still showing that you have a serious leadership.
So now,
yeah, bro.
But also, what I would say is, I feel like Wenger or Fergie would have managed him. And then, they would have managed him.
That's the thing. I think the way football is now, Seth, is just like, see the Oba situation. The moment it started coming up, it's numbers. Immediately you start saying, okay, which striker will give us XYZ goals? How much will we pay? Just go. Unlike before, that clubs don't have that might to go and start saying.
There are two things.
You can't.
There are two things.
No, the truth is, before hack.
Yeah.
If we have see how we had to hold on to Henry for forever or Fabregas, because bro, the way it was before in football, clubs, the moment you want one person just pops, you know that, man, I have to hold this guy and milk him and sell him out for very expensive. But now, a lot of clubs have money to buy anybody.
So
the moment you're not scoring, we can move you on and acquire.
I watched an
goals.
interview, which is Wenger's interview, and then he says, the period when Arsenal, when we were a selling club that were selling players, that we will come and be shouting, "Why will you sell it?" He's saying that these players, they come to him and they're like, "This is my last contract," and because of the let me use Henry for example, the way the team is set up, and I know that this team is not going to win the league or Champions League, or even maybe if they play in the Champions League, they're just playing to make up the numbers. Yeah. They're not going to achieve anything in the next 2-3 years. So I want to go to where I can achieve my goal. I can get what I want because I'm going. And then he said he doesn't. When he speaks to them, he knows not to drag it for too long, because whichever way you look at it, this guy is 30 years. If you hold him down and tell him not to go, the best you can get from him is 2 years. Then eventually he needs to go. So at this point, you have to start looking for solution. So if I relate this with Oba, I felt like it's the right time for us to. It was the right time for him to go. My problem is, how do you spend the entire 1 month? In fact, 2 months. Bro. It's 2 months because it started around November. Yeah. So you know that from November you knew that this is coming.
But realistically though, who was in the market that you could have gotten in January?
Bro, you
but
can
this is the same thing. You just said, can't you go and find somebody?
No. So what I was saying to United, right? I'm saying for us to have found, because the DM position is like an unsung hero. Yes. It's like the person that does the dirty jobs. Like when you look for players, like you can find players that can play. Like Casemiro, he was in the interview. I don't agree. Wait. He was a striker, and then he got converted to DM because he needed to go. But my point is, the guys, there's more pressure for the strikers, because those are the people that people are looking at.
Which means they are easier to spot.
No, my point is...
They are no strikers.
No, so they are...
No, but it's one thing he said, you could have gone to France.
United...
There are boys in France that are popping.
You will come... Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There are boys in Portugal popping.
So I was asking him realistically, to replace Aubameyang, given the lack of goals. I'm asking who they could have gotten.
I think replacing Aubameyang, would have been one of the easiest jobs, if you ask me. Because first, Aubameyang wasn't scoring again. And then now we don't need that striker. We're
I'm not even asking a rhetorical question. I'm literally asking.
We're trying to play like Man City and Liverpool, where you have that striker that drags defenders out and then allows others to score. I felt like replacing Aubameyang would have been a two-way job. So which is one, get wingers that can get you goals. Even if it's one person, get him in, because Pepe is not doing well. And then get someone that can do that job of dropping down, and then even when he gets the chance as a striker, he will still score. Okay. But Arsenal was busy looking for the obvious search. They were doing the obvious search, because if you go to Isaac, I know Isaac. So if you go to Isaac, I will charge you. Yes. Even as person when you get Isaac. Yes. then there's one other guy in Brazil.
Yes.
Raul Thomas.
Yes.
I don't know boys. They wanted to get him too, but they were saying 75 million. So I am saying now, when you do all of this,
that's what happens when you're desperate.
When you do all of this, you know that okay, so now we have gotten to the point where we're not going to get what we desire that can spark immediately. So that means we'll have to build again, back to building. Then you get someone to play out the whole 6 months to get used to the league. Then next season, the person hits the ground running.
No. So my question is, I feel like did they have a plan for Aubameyang to leave this January?
Clearly.
No. I'm saying before the issue.
Because
this January or in the summer.
I think
you're probably in summer because anybody that you would buy after this whole thing has started will have been a panic buy.
I think
obviously no.
45 million on a
obviously we cannot pay him.
So now, where I think that this might be wrong is Aubameyang is 32 years. You should be preparing to let him go from the moment you gave him a deal.
Would it
you should have 1, 2, 3.
It will be in January because we have said he's not going to play again.
No, I'm saying
before
the fight, before the issue.
Obviously that's what I hard to say.
So that means you guys had no plans.
The time we gave him a new contract.
We're actually looking for, because of the situation with Lacazette and
so
that's why
that's
why I'm seriously.
We have 2 strikers.
You have 3 strikers, and you know for sure that 2 are leaving, and you've not been preparing from now to activate a striker. Then your main striker that you are like, okay, this one will still be here. Now leaves. then there's still nobody, guy. And you say Edu should still remain in a job.
Yeah, he needs to keep his
job.
He needs to keep his job.
Okay, we are the same problem. We like kids. We are together. We are together. You don't see our present statistics.
Bro,
it was so simple. That statistic.
Yeah, that statistic was. I'll show you.
Bro,
it was the same.
But Man City should be fined for the. You can't beat someone like that. You can't dominate somebody like that.
That's why.
Did you see that map?
The
only place that was in their own half, in
And
their own box,
in
their own post.
That's what happens.
That's wickedness.
When you have money.
That team plays another.
And when you are serious.
When you are
No. Man City is a devilish team, and they need,
because Everton have money. They are serious.
Burnley play another type of football.
Burnley.
Those stats were just like demonic.
What are you doing?
Because they're basically waiting for when they're defending or when they are coming for set pieces.
It's counter they're waiting for. It's counter.
1-1 they drew with Arsenal. They drew with Chelsea.
It's like, what kind of football are we playing?
So Newcastle, they brought in a lot of players, right?
Yeah.
And they spent
a lot of money.
Do you see them staying up?
Yes.
Okay, in 10 minutes. We'll round up in 10 minutes.
Do you see them staying up? No, we're done. All right.
I think they'll stay up.
Yeah?
I think
with all this.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I'm surprised they paid Chris 33 million for Chris Wood. We need to evaluate that. I remember one of Hans tweets. 33 mil.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you why I always disagree with that deal. Is that deal for what Newcastle is trying to do? That means they needed just someone for 6 months.
Exactly.
For 6 months. So why
33 mil?
I go
it's 2 things though. Don't forget the other leg. That okay, if we do go down,
okay,
that's the striker that
can stay.
No.
Plus, there's
and we'll play.
There's the fact that everybody knows they have bar now.
They have bar.
Yeah, bro. So it's like you not telling me. I just know that you just made one.
I was watching.
I'll sell everything for you.
I think I saw a documentary. I don't know if it's a documentary or it was an interview where someone from around Newcastle was like, okay, yeah, the guy that ran Sky Sports, that they have people for each club. Mm-hmm. So the guy that was assigned to Newcastle, like so a very very long time. Like when the deadline day, like the evening just they sit down for house, they sleep, like nothing go happen. Yeah. Say, but he found out what it takes to be what's this guy Austin, yeah? Yeah, that he was up because before you know it, that this one wants to buy this one wants to that Newcastle wanted to spend £45 million at the beginning of January. But they ended up like they'll see this one. Let's buy this one. You see that? Let's buy this one. They were trying to. They were trying to address.
Oh, there's problem.
And then the first game they played 3-1.
3-1.
You can't see Liverpool.
It's like, man.
Guys, I saw them shaking.
Like, when are they playing United though? When are they playing?
Let's make these things happen.
When are they playing Man U? Mo do collect our air quick. Let's punch our head.
But how about Lampard? I thought Lampard got good deals for the players.
It's still early. They need time.
But if you saw a game yesterday, like in
I thought they were
first 30 minutes, they had to make 2 subs.
Yeah. Gray injured. Yeah. So it changed things for them. So, but I think he will come good. Anyways, we already discussed Saturday's games last week because obviously there's a midweek game. Yeah. So and games are about to pop now, so we have to go.
Norwich
thanks for
Norwich
scored Palace.
Those guys, there's a problem.
Okay,
anyways, guys, we'll see you guys next week. This episode was sponsored by Accra Design, and then happy birthday again to Jabo. Thanks, my main man, Peter Bunor, Starboy, for coming around.
I think we should take a picture.
Yeah, we have to take a picture.
I'm not taking a photo with her. Let's just put that out.